Chiefs Kingdom. The Chiefs are victorious in a powerful manner as they defeat the Bears at home at Arrowhead Stadium 41-10 to get the first victory of 2023 season in Arrowhead. And it was on the back of Taylor Swift as she was in attendance supporting her boyfriend, Travis Kelce. But let's talk about the players on the field first, as Patrick Mahomes had a day, 24 for 33 for 272 with 3 touchdowns. Absolute menace right there. Isiah Pacheco had a great game as well. 15 carries, which is what I want. I want him to get at least 15 carries in every game. He ended up with 62 yards and a tutty. And then Travis Kelce with Taylor Swift is what we can only assume to be girlfriend, partner. They're talking. They're together now because guess what? She was sitting with Mama Kelce, so we know that they're a thing. He had 7 receptions for 69 yards and a touchdown. And let's just say the Bears offense, they didn't do anything like that. DJ Moore had 3 receptions for 41 yards and a touchdown. He had 1 really good catch, but he also had 1 that hit him in the hands, and then he dropped. Right in the hands, and he just flat out dropped it. And so the first thing I got to say, with a 41-10 victory, I need some W's in the comment. And so with the Chiefs victory, the first thing I need you to do before we get into the rest of this video, type W in the comments. Type W, get in there, just spam W. That's what I want to see because today the Chiefs showed exactly what we were looking for. We wanted them to come out here and say, hey, guess what, guys? We are the team to beat. We are good. We are going to be here through the entire season and into the postseason. So type those dubs in the comments below. Let's look at the Chiefs offense now that we're talking about it. As total offense, the yardage, 456. That's the most they've had all season, growing over their max. Last game, they got 399. This time, 456 with 303 of those coming in the air and 153 coming on the ground, which was actually close to their season total. I mean, they were really kind of around that 150 area in terms of total yards for the season until now. They did have 2 turnovers. One of them, well, both of them were on Blaine Gabbert. One of them was just it bounced out of the hands of the receiver Rashee Rice into the hands of a Bears defender. So just tough there, but the turnovers didn't come at like an inopportune time. They were at the end of the game when it was already over. And then time of possession being 36-13 is kind of interesting because Chiefs usually just go down the field and score. Today they kind of methodically drove down. I liked what I saw. I think this is an offense that can definitely keep this going throughout the entire season, not just against a subpar Bears defense. Let's look at some individual stats, starting with our quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, who, again, 24 for 33 with 272. Dude looked locked in the entire game from the start. He honestly had a great pocket presence as per the usual. And on top of it, he was great in terms of basically understanding the game situation. The one thing that was tough, he did get kind of injured at the very end of the first half. There was a play where it wasn't purposeful, but one of the Bears' defensive linemen came and kind of fell on the back leg of Patrick Mahomes. And unfortunately, he kind of came up hobbling with that right knee. He did come back in the second half, played a drive, and looked good. So I think he should be fine, but we're going to monitor that situation as the hope is that Patrick Mahomes is fine, that knee will be fine. He told Andy Reid at half, hey, I'm good, don't worry about it. Just a little stinger, we'll be all good. But we're going to keep monitoring there of that Patrick Mahomes potential injury. The hope is that it's just nothing. One guy who did not get injured and looked good was Isiah Pacheco. That's the running game that I kind of wanted to see out of Pacheco, 15 carries. That's about the line that I wanted to see. I kind of mentioned it. He had only 20 carries up until today. He had 8 in the first game against the Lions, 12 last week against the Jaguars. Now he upped it again to 15. Things keep trending in the same direction. Next week he'll have 18. I like what I see. I really do. I want him to keep continuing on this trend of getting more and more carries because he is the premier back. And I say this, he had 15 carries when he was technically questionable for this game. Last night, he was listed as questionable. Now, Adam Schefter at like 1 a.m. reported that he was expected to play. So it was very obvious the Chiefs were expecting him to play, but just something to note that he was banged up all week. He was a non-participant in practice on Wednesday. On Thursday, he was limited participant, and he still had 15 carries. Dude looked impressive. On top of which, the running game was on top with Clyde Edwards-Helaire because he looked good. He had 55 yards along with 15 carries. Overall, this was just a very, very awesome team performance. 1 touchdown for Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 16 with the long. CEH, I got to be honest, earlier in this week, we talked about the potential of trading CEH for Cam Akers. Obviously, Akers now is with the Vikings. Well, that didn't happen. And so CEH came out here and he said, hey, guess what? I know what I'm supposed to be here. Now, before I get too ahead of myself, a lot of those yards did come in terms of late time, garbage time scenarios. Let's just say that. The late time yardage came a lot. He had a 20-yard run with it was garbage time left. So I will say that to kind of hold it at bay. But I liked what I saw from CEH. He kind of proved himself that he can be a third string back behind Pacheco and McKinnon. Now, before we move into the rest of the show, I need you to help the Chiefs reports out because that is our live subscriber count. We are at 45,865, which means we are only 135 subscribers away from 46,000. And I want to hit it today. I want to hit it today with the Chiefs victory. So if you're watching this video and you are not subscribed, hit that red subscribe button. We're pumping out Chiefs content every single day. We're going to talk about Patrick Mahomes and his injury. We're going to talk about Travis Kelce. We're going to talk about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. We're going to talk about Isiah Pacheco, Kadarius Toney, all the injuries, all right here on the Chiefs Report. Right there, you just see it subbed, and now we're only 134 subscribers away. Appreciate you. Hit that subscribe button today. Let's look at the receiving leaders today. Travis Kelce, that's what he brings. 7 receptions, 69 yards, and a touchdown. Rashee Rice, what a guy. What a guy. 5 catches, 59 yards. He did have a drop, and I tell you, he had 2 times where he should have had a touchdown. He got dropped at the inch line and at the 1-yard line. Duke could have easily had 5 receptions for 61 yards and 2 touchdowns if he could have gotten 2 more yards. That's all he needed. 2 more yards, he would have gotten 2 touchdowns. And then Justin Watson, he had a really, really long catch at the very end of the first half to kind of help the Chiefs get into a field goal scenario. So a good job from him. But let's start with Travis Kelce, who balled out today. 7 receptions, 69 yards for the touchdown. And that touchdown was so awesome because they panned to Taylor Swift, who was in a press box with Mama Kelce. And guess what? She was so excited. She was jumping up and down. She was hyped. It's very obvious that Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are at least a thing. They're seeing each other, and I absolutely love it because Travis Kelce went to see her perform in Kansas City, and he said, hey, you should come watch me perform in Kansas City as well. She took him up on the offer, sat in the booth with his mom. I just can't believe it. And now you got to question it because Taylor Swift was in attendance. Was she the good luck charm? And so in that case, is she going to be at the Chiefs versus Jets next week? If you think she is, then type Y for yes. If you think, nah, this is a one-time thing to go watch Trav, then type in for no. Let me know in the comments below. Type Y for yes if you think Taylor Swift will be at the game next week against the Jets, or type in for no if you think, nah, one-time thing, they're not going to do that again. Either way, she's good luck in my book because you don't just put up 41 points and the only thing that changed was having Taylor Swift there. All I'm saying. Let's look at the defensive side of things. This Bears offense was held in check all day long, and specifically Justin Fields. 87 yards through the air. What more can you ask for? Along with an interception and a fumble recovery. It was just a perfect storm, I think is the best way to describe it. Fields didn't look comfortable, and which was a great thing, along with having 1 interception and 1 fumble. And the interception, again, helped the Chiefs get into a score. The 116 yards rushing, again, a lot of those rushing yards came in what was quote-unquote garbage time. And Justin Fields, he didn't even have 100 yards through the air. Interception along with it, and he had a 50% completion percentage, which I tell you, this cornerback room deserves so much credit that they are not getting. So much credit, and they're not getting it. So I'm just going to shout out right now, Trent McDuffie, you're the leader of that pack, and just absolute great game. Last week, you only had one member of the secondary who had a 50% completion percentage against them. This week, the quarterback that you're facing doesn't even have a 50% completion percentage. I absolutely love what I saw from the Chiefs defense today, and it's just a good game to build off of. It's just a really good game. The defense looked good. The offense looked good. Everything was clicking. Patrick Mahomes was balling on all sorts of everything. I can't believe that this was perfect. I kind of described it all week that this was a get-back game for the Chiefs to kind of establish themselves again and put them back on, hey, we're the Chiefs, we're going to be fine. And that's exactly what they did. But I think the question is, I just said, the offense did well and the defense did well. Well, which side performed better? If you think the offense performed better, then I want you to type O in the chat. If you think the defense did a better job today, then type D for defense. Again, the defense held the Bears to 10 points. The 7 points coming on the touchdown at the very end, and the O coming on, and the other 3 points also coming in the fourth quarter. And then type D for defense if you think the defense was better. O for offense. Get in the chat and let me know. If you think it was both of them, type do. Type do. All right, let's take a look at the schedule coming up here for the Chiefs. I just mentioned that they're playing on Jets next week at New York, MetLife, Sunday Night Football. We're going to be live for that, so make sure you are subscribed and turn those notifications on. You're going to get a notification 30 minutes before that game. Sunday Night Football here next week. Again, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. We'll be live on a watch party then, and then they have the Vikings next week, and so on and so on. Really appreciate you watching today's video, and as always, Chiefs Kingdom, peace out, and we'll see you next time.